Well, these are a pair of Winx. It's called WINX Ultra Shorts, and they have gel pad in them on each one of your hip bones. You sit on the seat, like if you're riding a motorcycle a long time, and they don't have where you're sitting on a seam, and you're like if you have your underwear, you got that elastic on the underwear. Let me say this: I bought these, and I haven't tried them yet, but I know they're going to work because what I used to do was I used to wear the bicycle shorts when I was riding longer distance, and I got into the motorcycle from basically bicycles. Bicycles. I practically lived on a bicycle. I was like putting in sometimes up to 150 miles in a day, but that was kind of unusual to go that far. But a lot of times over 100 miles in a day on a bicycle. That's when I bought this Harley, and I kind of got into it pretty easily because there is a lot of the same. It's not the same, but you kind of do the same things. You turn your head going into the corners and things like that. It's kind of like there's a lot of overlap between a bicycle and a motorcycle in some ways. And I when I was the Sportster seat is they always say it's not the most comfortable. So I initially got this. I bought this before I bought the Mustang seat, and now I tell you honestly, I should have got the Mustang seat a long time ago, but I'm still able to ride in pretty good comfort over 3 hours with the stock seat. I guess maybe because it's broken into me, but I was thinking about if I'm going to go on an all day trip, 8 hours or something in the saddle, or putting on 500 miles in a day. If you're more comfortable, you can be more alert. So I was thinking a cheap way to do that is this. Now, this would be better. Now, this is Winx. It's Winx. It would be better to, just use something versus, some kind of bicycle shorts versus, regular underwear or something like that, because they're designed like when you're on a bicycle, you have like 3 points. You got your hands, your feet, and your butt, right? Well, you're not really sitting on your butt as much, but you got a really skinny seat, on a bicycle. And when you wear these type of shorts, it does work a lot. It keeps the pressure points off your hip bones. Now, this company makes a lot of bicycle shorts. I don't know if they concentrate on them or what, and maybe it's motorcycles shorts are for just one of their add-on products, but I do know that, like I said, I have used the bicycle shorts on long distances on a Sportster. Now, one of the big disadvantages of a Sportster is they say it's very uncomfortable on long rides, and I could say they're correct. But what's a long ride? I mean, how many times do you ride over 2 hours? If you go somewhere, so it's got how many times do you do that? I mean, I took a ride last week that was about a little over 3 hours, but normally when you drive somewhere, it's like 20 minutes, an hour maybe is a pretty long ride. 2 hours, I can go 2 hours on the Sportster, no problem. But what I know the first thing I hated about the Sportster was the small tank. This was the 2.25 gallon, so I got the there's a 3.8 gallon Mustang tank. Paint on it's got orange peel on it, but it works. I mean, I actually did I put that cream rust preventative product inside the tank when I first got it. There's no rust in that tank at all. So now, between this and say like leather pants and which are more comfortable than jeans, because the jeans will actually dig into you after a while. I mean, I don't even care what bike it is. If you're not wearing the right undergarments and your right kind of pants, it'll bother you after a while if you're in the saddle a really, really long time, because you can't move around like on a car so much. Like the only advantage I got is I got the highway pegs, and to me, everybody's different. I personally like the mid controls, right? And a lot of people get the forward controls. I don't like the forward. Maybe it's because I was more like into the bicycling. I feel like I'm more in an upright bicycling position. I don't like that. But I like the highway pegs to put your feet someplace else. That gives you, it takes some of the pressure off. But the more comfortable you are in the ride, the safer you are. That's the other thing. So for the money, These are it's WINX, you know. I don't know if it's a .com or whatever the hell it is, made in China, right? These kind of shorts too, you could probably just, they're mainly spandex, I think. You know, 95% nylon, 5% elastomer. You just wash them out in the sink with some soap and let them air dry. You don't have to put them in a washing machine or nothing. That would clean them off because they're all nylon. Um, it's got, you know, the mesh on it and stuff. But I also remember even I was riding with, we had the green running shorts in the military, that elastic, like along your top of your leg, that would bother me after a long period of time. And I'm talking a lot of hours. But you see, what I'm doing here is the big disadvantage of a Sportster is that it's not really a long distance cruising bike to go everywhere. Like, you could do it with some modifications, and like now I think I got enough modifications where I almost got like a halfway touring bike that's a Sportster without putting a bunch of junk on it. You know, I mean, it just got the Mustang seat, the big tank, the highway pegs, this thing, the gearing's different. You know, the gearing's geared for highway. This is most highway it can make it. And now I got this. But this is probably the cheapest solution because that seat is like over $400. Two pairs of these were 50. You get one pair for I think 28 or something like that. So, is it? And they come with this little plastic bag and stuff. And the other thing is, I heard all the garbage about Sportsters, this and that, because everybody. See, when I bought this bike, the not many years before, like they had the 1340cc, the 80 inch. Actually, I think it's 81 point something inches. Was the big twin. They had like Sportsters and big ones, right? Didn't have all these 50 billion zillion models back then. This is an 89, and they're actually getting more. This Evo was way more complicated in some ways, I guess, but it's still very simple, especially to today. But the bikes, the shovel heads were 1200 cc's. So they're saying a Sportster is 12. This is 1200. It's not a big bike. I mean, the engine's freaking good size, and it's a little bit. It's got a little less wheelbase on it. It's maybe 100 or so pounds less. It works. It works fine for me. I mean, sometimes I think there's a lot of egos out there, and that's the problem, The big ego this, big ego that. Just whatever works for me. I don't give a crap. That's what it is, man. But yeah, this is another one of those cheap solutions for comfort on a long ride. And I know sometimes people tell me the Sportster seat is like a torture device. I don't really. It is if you're out there riding for 5 hours or more. A couple hours, no problem. No problem. But how often do you ride 5 hours or more? But the thing is, now I got it set up where, it's kind of like an all-around, it could almost do everything. There's no such thing as any bike that could do everything. Now, I find like when I'm parked someplace, I mean, sometimes you got to back it up. There's no reverse gear in this thing. Most of the big bikes don't have reverse gear. So what do you, it's lighter. It does the job just as good as in most cases as the big ones, and it does the job better in a lot of other cases. So, but this is a cheap fix for so say you got 2 or 3 different bikes. You want to go spend $1,500 changing all the seats, the best ones out there, or you just want to get a pair of shorts. Get the pair of shorts, right? That's the way I look at it.